Good afternoon to you from the Truss Arena in Henderson, Auckland, New Zealand. It's match day 3 of the OFC Futsal Championships Invitational 2013. And it's Vanuatu up against the New Zealand Invitational side in what amounts to a jostle for third and fourth spot in the group stage, particularly with Tahiti and Australia already assured of their places in the semi-finals. A fourth place finish in this group will line up a playoff for 7th with New Caledonia. As we pause for the national anthems, first of Vanuatu and then New Zealand. Caught a glimpse of coach Louis Dominique joining along in the national anthem, You Me, and now God Defend New Zealand. New Zealand Invitational coach Simon Mead says that there is a longer game plan as part of the vision for this team of his, and that is presumably to develop these players and give them the experience required to step up for the Futsal Whites. And we can take a look at the table. Group B, Australia and Tahiti comfortably through to the last 4. Today will be all about the jostle for third place as the tournament heads into its playoff round, with the playoff for 7th place and 5th place to be determined on match day 4. That's tomorrow at 1 o'clock and 3 p.m. Team lists: first, Vanuatu, Louis Dominique's side have performed well but yet to pick up any points. Paco Arakom, for me, has played a key part in some of the stirring performances of his side, while Jackie John has also stood out. For the New Zealand Invitational side, Stephen Ashby Peckham, Jan Fisher, 2 players with bright futures, and 1 player, Mohamed Kamri, who is at the other end of the spectrum in terms of his career, has also held this team together bravely. There are the 2 sets of 5 as they line up: Masai, Dominique, Hangai, Rakom and Toe, with Plowright, Kamri, Ashby Peckham, Edridge and Wright starting for the New Zealand Invitational side. The match official for the first game of match day 3 is Rex Kamosu from Solomon Islands, Daniel Kausuo from New Caledonia, Ryan Shepherd of Australia, and the timekeeper is Stefan Upa of New Caledonia. I'm Gordon Glenn Watson, and as ever, alongside me for the ride is Paul Tui, and we'll be describing the action for you throughout the match today, coming to you through the OFC TV YouTube channel and also our good friends and colleagues at Summit Sports. Paul, New Zealand Invitational will want to finish the group section at least with something to show, perhaps a couple of goals, maybe even a victory.
They certainly will, Gordon, and Vanuatu too will have similar thoughts. Both of them, they've been impressive at times. It's tough, two very young sides, but yeah, everything to play for here. And just downstairs with the technical study group, this is a game we're all relishing just to see how the two teams set up and play.
Dudley Dominique. Pakoa Rakom dropping off to his left, looking for the ball. Dominique passes it straight out. It was intended for Albert Toe. Dominique. Lively start to the first match on match day 3. Rakom. Dominique plays into the pivot. Albert Toe.
Bisham Camry on the ball. He's been a huge influence for this young side. We've been saying he's 37, he's actually 38. Great strike by Daniel Ball there. He's got big aspirations, Daniel Ball. It's new for him, the pivot role, and he's done very well. Good to see him getting a bit of game time over the week.
Chance for Vanuatu to break through Hangai. Oh, and it's a goal already. Pakoa Rakom opens the scoring.
Yeah, good counter-attack, and the ball carrier having an option either side of him. And an early great start for Vanuatu.
Inside the first minute, first 50 seconds, Pakoa Rakom punches the air with delight. Vanuatu 1-0 up, the Futsal Gideons.
Yeah, and you called it earlier, Gordon. Rakom, he's been excellent this week.
Here's Matt Edridge. Camry just couldn't find Ashby Peckham. The idea was right. Here's Rakom, the goal scorer. Dudley Dominique. Hangai got a shove in the back from Daniel Ball. It's been spotted by the referee on the substitute bench side of the court. Hangai. Dominique. Rakom. Toe. All Vanuatu to begin with. Here's a long-range shot, somewhat ambitious. It has got its rewards though in the form of a corner. Glendon Masai, the goalkeeper, has come up to halfway for Vanuatu, just out of your picture.
And Vanuatu showing no ill effects from their mammoth encounter with Australia yesterday, Gordon. They look pretty fresh, don't they?
Yes, well, they'll have been enriched by the experience, if not the result. They really gave Australia a good go, didn't they, Paul?
Yeah, up until about the 32-minute mark, it was 2-1, and we always knew it was going to be difficult for them to sustain that pressure that they were putting on the Australians. But overall, I'd say a great result. And I caught up with Louis Dominique, the coach, just outside the stadium as he was leaving, and he was pretty happy.
Albert Toe, another player, a bit of an unsung hero. He has managed to get on the score sheet himself at this tournament. Good effort by Rakom, looking very hungry for goals. Pakoa Rakom. Camry. Chip ball forward to Burns. Well, Hangai's got his arms all over the top of Burns, and that's resulted in a free kick. Matt Edridge has the ball in hand. Camry joins him. And this is one area we spoke about earlier, Paul, in terms of the lack of preparation time for New Zealand Invitational to work on these set pieces. What can they produce? A goal for Matt Edridge. Well, first goal of the tournament for New Zealand Invitational.
Edridge will be pleased with that. He butchered one yesterday, and probably a bit fortuitous, but well done, New Zealand. As you say, they wouldn't have had a lot of time to put together their set-piece routines, unlike Malaysia, who last night against New Zealand we saw some really lovely, well-prepared kick-ins, corners, free kicks. but New Zealand back in it.
Rakom, regulation stuff for David Plowright. He's a tall goalkeeper, which is always handy in futsal, and Rakom chose to go high when perhaps keeping it lower may have produced more. Dominic, well, he went for power, and the placement was absent. Well, what's going on here is, his corner's been given, so it must have taken a deflection. Taken quickly. Oh, it's in through the legs of Plowright. Ben Hangai.
Again, a very nicely worked routine, Gordon, when we have a look at the replay. Just the ball played in and stopped on the byline.
David Plowright's unhappy with himself. Hangai hit it sweetly and went straight through the legs of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, great layoff from the man standing on the byline.
Here's Burns. Daniel Ball, sorry. Cameron.
Could be in for a goal feast.
Yes, well, both teams can now play with an element of freedom, given the door to the semi-final closed yesterday. Both sides were beaten for the second time in the tournament. Dudley Dominic. Barkov lines one up and puts it in the back of the net.
Yep, that man again, Rakom, second of the day, and the young side from New Zealand just need to retain their composure here, or get it back at least. Vanuatu just really punishing them there.
Peñas is on, a player who impressed yesterday for the Invitational side. Jan Fischer. Cameron. Nice footwork from him. Charles Compant can't deal with the pass though. It was a difficult one for him to deal with. Well, Dudley Dominic putting the ball out again after choosing to go long. Don't often see the futsal Gideons opt for Route 1 stuff, and they've made it 4.
Just putting pressure on that New Zealand invitation first touch. Right up line 1, we called it yesterday. Just attacking the New Zealand invitation side as they try to play out from the back. Not prepared to sit back, and so far it's paying dividends.
Well, Ben Hangai got pretty easy route to goal there. He just glided by 3 New Zealanders before knocking it past the 4th for Vanuatu's 4th goal. We've only had just under 4 minutes. Vanuatu looking good. New Zealand Invitational, they have a goal, but they're being worked around the court at the moment. Albert Toe holds off Tom Parent, trying to go past Peñas. What a great throw from Plowright. Jesse Takaro might fancy a shot. Albert Toe, good save by Plowright. That will restore his confidence somewhat.
Don't want to get ahead of myself, Gordon, but already thinking about tomorrow, the possibility of who Vanuatu might play in the playoff. If Solomon Islands get eliminated, I'd love to see these two up against each other. But a bit of water to go under the bridge yet, with a big day ahead for all of us, isn't it?
There is a huge day in front of us, and there's some interesting team news with respect to Malaysia. They have a couple of players suspended, and that's going to impact what sort of lineup they deliver for tonight's 8 o'clock match with the Solomons. There is talk that they'll have a squad of 6 players.
Yeah, I was going to say that I'm hearing things like that this morning, but we'll see. There were perhaps some injuries as well, but you know, if they're down to 6, that lack of discipline, so unnecessary. I mean, they hammered New Zealand, let's be fair, 7-1. Or was it 8 in the end? I lost count, but really that could be rather beneficial to Solomon Islands as they try to qualify for the semi-final. But New Zealand have no small task either, trying to get past New Caledonia. I think that 6 o'clock game is going to be very eventful one way or another.
Yes, a mouth-watering program to bring to you on OFC TV YouTube channel, and of course through our good friends at Summit Sports, who are taking in this game live, and also the match between New Zealand and New Caledonia for 6 o'clock local New Zealand time. Do join us for that. Jesse Takaro for Vanuatu. Pelpini Iasi. There's a space for Jesse Takaro to run into here. Peñas is across to defend. Ashby Peckham provides cover for Peñas. Iasi. Avok. Takaro. It's all Vanuatu at the moment. They are kicking into their rhythm. They have the luxury of 4 goals on the board. Avok checks his options. High line from the New Zealanders. Outside brought into play. Takaro has it. Peñas. Right. Ashby Peckham. Fisher. Well played by Fisher and Wright. Good first touch by Wright. Still going. Peñas is unmarked just outside the D, but New Zealand struggle to connect their passes up. They've got the ball back here through Fisher. Ashby Peckham. Good spell this for the Invitational side. Peñas has it. Fisher. Wright. Peñas. Ashby Peckham. This is good for New Zealand. Wright just losing his footing at the crucial moment. Encouraging spell for Simon Mead's side.
Yeah, much better, much better. Still plenty of time for the invitation side. Another goal and really they're well back in it. I spoke to Nathaniel Wright just before the game. He told me he really wants an international goal. Nearing the end. He's working in futsal as a futsal development officer, but very much concentrating on his coaching, so perhaps for him his big opportunity. But you know, if he plays well, I think he's got a bright future.
Iasi with a nice touch. Ashby Peckham, that's good defending from him. O'Sullivan, right. Clipped forward into space for Dominique O'Sullivan. Jesse Takaro was the covering defender. Donald Abbott looking for a run forward from Takaro. It didn't come. Takaro Rakom has it. Nice look at the footwork here.
Yeah. A lot of composure this Vanuatu side.
They're brimming with confidence.
They sure are.
The futsal Gideons. Ashby Peckham. Nice defending from Donald Abbott. Just measured himself.
He's had a good week, hasn't he, Ashby Peckham, Gordon? Looks a nice player, that trusty left foot.
Yes, he does add something to the New Zealand Invitational side. He's certainly got a bright future in terms of Futsal Whites caps, I'm sure.
He went away to Tahiti with the Futsal Whites in April. Didn't get a lot of game time, but looked very good down in Wellington. So probably a little bit unlucky to miss out on the A side, and some of those guys are getting a bit older now, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of the next cabs off the rank to go into that Futsal Whites team.
Some good work by David Plowright in dealing with that Vanuatu attack, and we get to see his distribution skills, demanding a header from Donald Avick. He's done well to win a header off Daniel Ball. Now Dominic O'Sullivan, I think, is going to be penalised here. See there was a tang of arms, and it's right in front of the match official. Rakom, Avok. Back to Rakom. Rakom against O'Sullivan. Sullivan can't get the better of Rakom. Iasi, the shot's deflected, and it's gone out, and Bill Titek was just lingering to the left of Hisham Camry. Should Camry have made a mistake, it was looking like a pretty clear-cut opportunity for a fifth Vanuatu goal, but the New Zealand Invitational have retained their defensive integrity. You can see here
the high ballers.
Rakom's shot flies past. Camry, good save by Marsai.
Good play by Ball and Camry there as Ball learning the art of the pivot roll, holding the ball up, and then a nice ball into the experienced Camry. Once again, Ball high up the court. They'll be looking to get the ball into him. Here he is now, but cut out nicely.
Donald Avok is getting the better of Daniel Ball just on the right-hand side of the New Zealand pivot as those straight passes are being fired into him. Avok seems to prefer getting side to side with Ball and then just wrapping that right leg around to nip in front.
Yeah, Avok's another one who's had a good week.
Halfway through the first half. Vanuatu 4, New Zealand Invitational 1. New Zealand's first goal of the tournament scored by Matt Edridge off a set piece. Here's Donald Avok. Pakoa Rakom against Camry. Well read, the veteran. Intriguing matchup between old and young. Oh, and well, Daniel Ball nearly got the better of Avok, and again, Avok this time not winning on his favoured side against the Kiwi. 3 times he's gone in for the same side, and that's good work from Edridge. Still going. Has the shot, and it's just off target.
Yeah, good work from Edridge, but he had Peñas to his left.
Edridge perhaps with a little bit more self-belief in front of goal.
Yeah.
He's in a good position. He did have a shot in the end, but it came a couple of seconds into the counter-attack.
He could have fired it off a bit earlier, I think.
Just a question of self-belief and a bit more experience, perhaps. Just being gleaned here. Rakom. Straight into the back of Jan Fisher. That won't... trouble David Plowright. Rakom will restart the game. Here's Hang Hang Kon. Camry. Well, Daniel Ball's just starting to get to grips with Donald Avok. He's managed to hold him off twice. Although he didn't get the ball that time, that personal duel between those two players is developing minute by minute.
Yeah, and Ball taking a break now with Compound coming in.
Compound. Good run and a good throw from Plowright. Here is the set play. T-Tech set up Hang Hang Kon. It was on target and a comfortable one for the keeper. No options to launch a counter-attack until Compound appeared. There's Camry. Good save by Marsai.
that's the experience of Camry, how he received the ball and turned. It's easier than it looks.
Oh, good shot from Hang Kon.
Sorry, harder than it looks, Gordon. Camry's experience playing in Morocco.
Rakon. Oh, and the whistle blew late. I think that
Fisher's eyes lit up, didn't they?
Fisher's eyes lit up, and there was a sigh of relief from Camry here. Look at this. He was just about to turn and join Fisher. He thought perhaps he'd escape punishment, but that's not the case.
Probably relieved he didn't have to make the run.
Well, we might be being a little unkind to Hisham Camry. I mean, he is a very, very fit athlete.
He is, and we were all talking about him downstairs in the technical study group earlier. He's been fantastic this week. Plenty of court time too, not just little 2-3 minute cameos.
He's in the side as an experienced older head, Paul. Is there a chance, in your opinion, of Futsal white caps for Camry, or is...
I know New Zealand have talked about it. I'm not sure about his eligibility to play for the full international side, but definitely it's been talked about. And I think at one point in the early days when futsal came under New Zealand football, there was the possibility he was going to coach the side. But a lot of experience, and as we've seen this week, plenty to offer on the court as well.
Yes, the eligibility laws, regulations have changed so much for football in just a short number of years. These days, of course, you can play age group football for one country, and if you're eligible for the other at that particular time, you can switch allegiances and play for another senior country. There are countless examples of that. If I think of one in the UK, it's probably the case of Andy Driver, who was born in England, but we'll come back to that as Peckham, Ashby Peckham. This is, yes, the example of Andrew Driver, who was born in England, English parents, and was schooled in Scotland for five years, and despite having England under 21 caps and no Scottish heritage, he was eligible to be picked for the Scottish national team on the basis of his education. So it's a fluid dynamic that could change, although time's not on Hisham Camry's side in this case, and certainly if he's got international caps.
Great first touch there from Ashby Peckham, but unfortunate for him, he just wasn't clinical enough for the finish. But again, just a sign of the talent of this young player. Yeah, just looking at that side, that New Zealand Invitational side, I think there's actually 3 or 4 of them where there's just a little bit of a question mark over their eligibility. Some of them have been born in other countries, and I think after the Andrew Durante situation with New Zealand, perhaps a bit of hesitancy to rush players in. It's a great finish, isn't it?
Yes, Ben Hungai. No chance for player rights. Frustration for him. He's just watched Hungai slalom his way past 3 opponents and then applying a deadly finish. Louis Dominique animated in his team talk.
Great to see Louis growing in confidence. He's working as the Futsal Development Officer for the Vanuatu Football Federation. He started in February, and such a passionate guy. He's recently put together an academy of young players as well, working on a regular basis in Port Vila. I had the pleasure of seeing them just a few weeks ago, and absolutely fantastic, that investment in the young players, and so talented. So I think look out for Vanuatu over the next few years.
Yes, it's a wonderful job that Louis Dominique has performed for the VFF in terms of his work with this Futsal Gideon side. Tell us, Paul, how difficult is it for a futsal coach to work with a team, and particularly a young team, when those players have so many options in front of them in terms of choosing football over futsal and vice versa.
Yeah, it's interesting. We see in the Pacific, different federations take a different approach. Some players, when they register for football, aren't allowed to play futsal, and vice versa. Others take a completely different approach, like New Zealand, where futsal is, it's encouraged more and more now by the federations, the 7 federations, all having, full programs and futsal development officers. But the great thing about futsal, I guess, is that wherever there's a bit of concrete, or in some cases grass, and there's a ball, the game tends to happen anyway. So yeah, a lot of opportunities, but more and more we're starting to see these specialist players now, and typically, it's great to see kids being able to do both, and you don't want to stop anybody having the opportunity to play any form of the game. And once you start thinking about beach soccer as well, which is really starting to grow now in our region, and Vanuatu have an excellent beach soccer side who've got a good chance of going to the World Cup later in Tahiti this year. So yeah, lots of opportunities, lots of choice, but in the end you do tend to end up specialising.
So forward by Ben Hangai, headed clear by Dominic O'Sullivan. Casual observation I can make, perhaps showing my age and my vintage, is the number of coloured boots with the New Zealand Invitational side as compared to the senior team. I noticed that the national anthems was a real multicoloured display.
Yeah, and even old Hicham Camry there. What's he got? Orange laces, or is that the shoes?
It looks like the laces orange.
Yeah, you can't beat the good old-fashioned black, eh, Gordon?
That's traditionalist in both of us, I think. So, Vanuatu 4, New Zealand Invitational side 1.
New Zealanders just getting to grips with them a little bit more now, Vanuatu. Just under 5 minutes left. They'll not want to concede anymore, just heading towards half-time.
Oh, it's just past the post. Alberto.
Once again, that pressure, that high line that the Vanuatu side were taking there, just causing a mix-up between Ashby Peckham and Nathaniel Wright.
Marsai, that's a good throw. Nice touch from Avok.
The
second touch was even better. Good save by Plowright. Good defending from Dominic O'Sullivan.
Fantastic, Donald Avok.
Oh, that second touch was just wonderful.
Sublime, wasn't it?
Here's the save. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see a replay of Donald Avok turning Dominic O'Sullivan, but it was absolutely delightful. Hoisted forward by Edridge. Taken on the chest by Ashby Peckham. And Alberto has fashioned a clearance.
Here it is there, Gordon. Wow.
That's fantastic. So fluid in his movement, so supple. Evan. Sullivan defends well for New Zealand. Hangai. Toe. Through the legs of Ashby Peckham. Battling back into position. Tenacious stuff from the Kiwi. Edridge. Right. Oh, he's got by Hangai rather easily. Jackie John had to cover for his skipper.
Yeah, good work by Wright.
There is Jackie John's sliding intervention. Hang on, just going off the boil here. Vanuatu skipper. 2 mistakes in quick succession.
Yeah, good work again from Wright, causing a bit of mischief up top for the Invitation side as Ball gets ready to check in again. Be interesting to see if Simon Mead goes with Ball and Wright together up front. They could cause a bit of damage if he does.
Fisher.
No, it's a straight swap. It's a shame. I would have liked to have seen that. 2-2 with 2 big players up the front for the Invitation side.
Just over 3 minutes of the first half remain. Vanuatu 4, New Zealand Invitational 1. We started off with a hiss and a roar, 4 goals inside the first 3 minutes. And the match has settled down into a more even pattern. No goals since then though. Oh, nice touch from Albert Toe. Hangai away by Ashby Peckham. Good cover from him. Shot deflects off Daniel Hall. We will have a corner. Hangai really hitting the afterburners to get by Ball. And Stephen Ashby Peckham was on the goal line to provide cover for David Plowright.
Time out for New Zealand. Comes the tactics board for Simon Mead and his young side. Disappointing for them. They were pretty fired up this morning when I saw them coming into the stadium, but it's no disgrace 4-1 against this emerging Vanuatu side. Very skillful and plenty of time left too, and they've had their chances, New Zealand, especially Ashby Peckham there just a little bit earlier, as we see the New Zealand side coming in. Big game at 6. They're possibly about to train or have just finished training. See Australia entering the stadium. That's the next one on the list, isn't it, Gordon? Up against Tahiti.
Yes.
That's going to be a fascinating battle.
Well, yes, and Paul, the word on courtside is that Tahiti don't have a goalkeeper. They've suffered a significant injury crisis, and it has meant that Teva Duro has succumbed to an ankle injury and is unlikely to play, and Apira Tatoira has had stitches put into his hand. He was taken off injured in the match with Vanuatu, I think, and that has required some surgery. So Tahiti are going to take on the Futsal Roos with an outfield player in goal.
Well, there's only one answer. They've just got to go with the flying goalkeeper for 40 minutes.
That's it. And given the way they play, certainly there's some hope that they can offer whoever does end up in goal some degree of disciplined defensive structure.
Yeah, definitely. They are very well structured defensively. Possibly better equipped than most teams to overcome a setback like that. But no, against the Australians, gosh, you do need a good keeper. They've got a couple of great keepers, the Australians themselves. But very unfortunate for Tahiti. If they obviously they've got one foot in the semi-final, or they're already there. Let's hope it works out for them tomorrow, and they've got someone available for what will be a big semi-final for them.
Well, Duro played last night. Now, I understand the injury didn't occur yesterday. It occurred on the first match day, and he chose to try and play through that injury.
Because he didn't start, did he, in that first game?
No. And he's tried to play through it, and this morning we were told that his ankle has just swollen up to a point where it's just foolhardy for him to take the court today. So who knows, we may yet be surprised, but from what we understand, it is going to be very much a composite Tahitian goalkeeping effort, and they're certainly going to have their work cut out against the FIFA Futsal World Cup unit.
Well, let's just hope they've got somebody who's at least got some experience in goal. But yeah, like you say, we'll wait and see.
Oh, good shot! Oh, and it's missed. The follow through from Edridge.
Great strike by Ball to that near post, and it popped up for Edridge, but he just put it wide.
Well, the whole move was interesting to watch, and he's hit the side netting.
And the goal wide open.
Well, that self-belief we were talking about earlier. Young Matt Edridge, he's scored the only goal of the tournament for his team, but he might well have had 3. Camry, here is Edridge. That's a good ball. And Ashby Peckham couldn't keep it in. It was the right idea from Edridge.
Yeah, good strike by Ball too. He really cracked that one into the near upright.
Bit of a wake-up call for Vanuatu. They've been going through the motions a little bit.
They have, haven't they? It can happen if you take the lead early. Just a bit of the sting gone out of the game.
So just 47 seconds left on the clock in the first half. Vanuatu 4, New Zealand Invitational 1. As we get this Plowright tipping the ball over from a Pakoa Rakom shot. Rakom past Camry into the side netting. Camry on the break, might be able to get this in. Oh, he's lofted it over the top. Glendon Marsai applied the pressure, rushed out to meet the Moroccan. And the angle just wasn't there for Camry to be able to scoop it with accuracy over the top of the advancing keeper. Rakom. Here's Marsai. Might fancy a shot here, the keeper. Camry. Well read by Albert Toe. Evon. Hangai. Clock ticking down. Final 5 seconds. And that is half-time in Game 1 on Match Day 3. Vanuatu lead New Zealand Invitational 4-1. Let's have a look at some of the highlights of the first half. The opening goal, scored by Pakoa Rakom. Albert Toe picked him out at the far post. He was unmarked. Let's see here. No one within touching distance of Pakoa Rakom. Can't give a player like that space. It was actually Hangai who got the final touch on the assist. Then New Zealand got level, and it was Matt Edridge from the set play. Looked as though it had maybe been botched a little bit. There was an element of luck about it, but Edridge won't complain, neither will his teammates. First goal of the tournament for the Invitational side. The joy didn't last very long. Hangai restored the 1-goal advantage for the Futsal Gideons, beating David Plowright shot going through Plowright's legs. Then Rakom tucked a beautiful shot into the bottom left corner. Cuts back onto that favoured left foot, wrapped it around Hisham Camry. Plowright might have seen that late.
It's nice, isn't it?
And that's a good finish, and happy days for Vanuatu. More to come. Solo goal from Ben Hangai. The defending was not good enough from New Zealand. Fisher ran right across Ben Hangai, who just kept going onto the right foot. You can see there, Plowright had plenty to say to his defenders. As the ball hit the back of the net, you can see the goalkeeper not happy with the defending, and Vanuatu sitting pretty. But New Zealand had another chance. This one from Ball, and it's set up perfectly for Edridge. That just had to be put in the back of the net. Look at that, you can't miss from there. It's a bad one. So Vanuatu have the advantage 4-1 at halftime. Join us back here in 6 or 7 minutes time for the rest of the match. Welcome back to the Trust Arena in Henderson and Auckland. Half-time in the game between Vanuatu and the New Zealand Invitational side, and it's 4-1 to the Louis Dominique coach side from Port Vila. Goal scorers Ben Hangai with a double and Pakoa Rakom also with 2. As we see your father and son enjoying the futsal coverage, and our young team of ball kids also taking in the half-time opportunity for some rest. Let's have a look at some of the highlights of an interesting first half. Matt Edridge trying to clip this one past Glendon Massai. He's getting into some good positions, Edridge, and has managed to get on the score sheet once, but there's been a couple of misses as well. Ben Hangai stung the hands of David Plowright. Sorry, that is Joseph Hang Kon. He's got a really vicious right foot, Joseph Hang Kon. And from the resulting counter-attack, Hisham Camry's shot took a deflection. Jackie John hit the post. It took a wee hit off Jan Fisher in combination with Hang Kon. And then it was nearly a disaster for New Zealand from this Ashby Peckham pass. Nathaniel Wrights was unable to get a hold of it, and Albert Toe just toe-poked it past the post. Hisham Camry with the last play of the first half, almost lobbing the goalkeeper, but again it was a difficult one for him to get. Simon Mead taking the opportunity just to give his team a bit of a pep up. Vanuatu went through a bit of a flat patch after starting the game with a 4-goal blast. And Hisham Camry as well. He's been an absolute mine of experience and information for the Invitational side over the past couple of days. A real quality player, 38 years of age, an accomplished football player as well, it must be said. And he's added a lot of value to his teammates. Very young side, of course. Our coverage coming to you on OFC TV via our YouTube channel, and also through Summit Sports, who have taken in some of our coverage over the last couple of days, and also will be looking to do the same as we head into the playoff series. As we're back underway at the Trusts. Albert Toe through the legs of Camry. Cheeky play by Toe. Good clearance by Daniel Ball. And the chance wasted by Hangai. Ball. It's given away to Dudley Dominic. Ball gets a second bite at it. Camry picks it up and a foul given. Oh, chance. Oh, and it's wasted. The opportunities are coming, Paul, for New Zealand. They're just unable to take them.
They are, and there's another one with Ashby Peckham getting on the end of that ball from Camry. Just thinking about what New Zealand could do differently. Gordon, as we see Ball there. Quite like to see Camry in that pivot role just for a few minutes. I think he's very dangerous still. And there was a time earlier in the game in the first half where he turned the defender and got away from him, and he can create space for himself. He's very strong, very experienced. I'd just like to see him just up the top of the court for a couple of minutes just to see what he can do.
Yes, it's one of these scenarios where if you had a couple like Hisham Camry, you'd have a team to contend with. But you're quite right, it's a balancing act, given there is a dearth of experience throughout this team. It is, in effect, it is a B-side.
Yes, and he gives them a lot of stability at the back, so obviously can't be two places at once.
Hangai. Masai lines up a shot, and why not?
We were talking earlier about Edridge, weren't we, Gordon? Just that lack of confidence. He's a talented player, but a couple of times he's just...
Good save by Plowright, yes.
Just feel like he hasn't backed himself. He just earlier there when he let the ball roll under his feet. Yeah, I think he's a great prospect. But just that confidence.
Absolutely, I totally agree. I think oh, it's an attack and a chance for Vanuatu. Oh, and it's gone well wide, Albert Toe.
Yeah, Toe did well to slide in there, but over the top. Good attack though by Vanuatu.
Good turn by Camry. Oh, and he's been pulled up. Well, that's a little bit unlucky from the Moroccan. Just getting back to Matt Edridge, I think when you're getting into the positions, those goal-scoring positions, that's half the battle, and he's able to pick out the right run to make, and it just comes down to a little bit of confidence and self-belief, and perhaps in time with more experience that self-belief will emerge.
Yeah, and a nice ball there from Edridge, and he is the scorer of the only goal for the invitation side in this tournament. But a bit of time left, and that's a great turn by Charles Compan.
Oh, good save too. And probably could have hit that with a bit more power. He went for placement, Compan. Good turn there. Left Ben Hangai for dead. And Glendon Masai got the left hand on the ball to turn it around for a corner. Camry straight against Jackie John.
Yeah, they've just let themselves down a little bit, the New Zealand invitation side, with their finishing. It, it could be 4-4.
Yes, well, if the chances do keep coming and they take them, the game could reignite. There's been an air of somewhat flat mood to things since the opening minutes, which started with a hiss and a roar. Camry. Oh, Camry almost bustled his way past Jackie John. Compan has it. Ashby Peckham. Looking to go on his own. He tried to slide between Toe and Avok. So long range shot hits two New Zealanders, and Compan sends that one high into the rafters. There's a bit of a blind pass from Albert Toe. It's given possession up cheaply. Dudley Dominique has done well to win the ball, and he scores.
Slide rule finish. Plowright came out, but Dominique picked out that far post.
Good work from Dudley Dominique, using his qualities as a mid-court disruptor, something a phrase I've coined, but he is a combative player, and he showed that he also has the capacity to finish as well. Tidy piece of play by Dudley Dominique. Kenyas back into the fray for New Zealand. Jan Fisher also.
And once again, just looking at that quartet for New Zealand, Kenyas, Compan, Ashby Peckham, Fisher. I don't think there's anyone over 18 there. I'd love to see that.
Takaro trying to tidy up for his country.
And each one of them, you know, technically gifted players. Nice feet, good technique.
Oh, good shot from Compound, out of nothing. Brendan Massai would have felt the full force of that on the fingers.
Mitch Webber in as well, just to add to the youth.
Impetuosity of youth. Charles Compound was right in the official's face, appealing for a decision. Didn't go his way. Jesse Takaro. Albert Toe getting more court time this afternoon to take on Ashby Peckham. There's a duel and a half. In the end, opts to supply Takaro with the ball. He gives it straight to Compound. He might fancy a toe poke. Oh, and he scores! Good goal.
And a good reward for New Zealand's endeavours today. It's been a bit up and down, but they've created plenty. And might be a toe poke. Just have to have a look. Yep, there it is, the classic futsal toe poke, and a good reward for Charles Compound. 5-2.
Yes, he's impressed as this tournament has gone on, Charles Compound, and there was no shortage of decisiveness about what he was doing there.
Good block there from Mitch Webber.
Got a good sighter on goal, and then let Glendon Massai have it. Oh dear. Massai. Well, I don't know that Massai's going to, well, it's a yellow card for Charles Compound. We'll get another look at it. I thought initially that when he dropped the ball and Compound had a go at this, that he might have just got the end of his fingers, and it might be a case of hurt pride rather than a head injury. Although,
see, they're looking like they're attending to his fingers there, but don't know whether he needed to go down. But just looking up at that scoreboard, 5-2. Perhaps another goal from New Zealand Invitation, and it's game on again. Has meandered a bit at times after the bright start this game. So he looks like he's okay.
yes, I don't envy the goalkeepers in futsal. Of course, we were talking earlier about the Tahitian situation, where there are 2 injuries to the Tahitian goalkeepers. Apira Tetoira has had to have his thumb stitched after taking a sore one in the opening match day. And Glendon Massai was quick to point out that he had sustained a bit of an awkward injury. You see those in cricket, slip cordons with a flying ball that just catches the fingers. Not nice.
Massai, one of the few keepers that wear gloves as well. Futsal goalkeepers often just tape the fingers, as Mitch Webber has done for New Zealand, but looking closer at Massai's gloves, it's the fingerless variety. The reason for that is just for what you've just seen there, the ball distribution. So important that you get a good grip on the ball, and with the typical football goalkeeper's gloves, you cannot get that precision throw. So hence the fingerless gloves or no gloves at all.
I noticed the Malaysian goalkeepers also went for a bandaged configuration on their hands. They were wearing them on each finger at the knuckles, it seemed. If memory serves correct, it's Firdaus Razali and Hadi Mod Tawfiq. Some degree of preparation goes into getting that taping configuration.
Takes ages in the dressing room and trainings, and it's a full-time job for someone usually in the staff to take care of the keeper's fingers.
Compound trying to add to his goal tally for his team and personally. Jackie John turns John Peñas, but can't keep the ball on the court. Donald Avic's header. Jesse Takarov. Good defending from Dominique O'Sullivan again. There's another one of these players in a defensive sense who enjoys to hassle and harry O'Sullivan. He's managed to win some good possession for his team this afternoon.
Wright looking to link up with Edridge there, but away for the corner. Let's have a look at the set piece now. Wright with a checked run, but not much of an option, so they go long back to Mitch Webber. Again, just that lack of time to really prepare something that can be effective against Vanuatu.
Edridge.
Way to our left, behind this curtain, is Solomon Islands, looking like they're having their hour-long training session. Each of the teams have the option of training in the stadium throughout the day, and Solomon's probably the last ones to take that hour for the day. Their game, of course, kicking off at 8 o'clock against Malaysia.
Yes, it's all or nothing for the Solomon Islands tonight. Malaysia have 2 wins from 2 games. Solomon Islands 1 win and 1 loss. New Zealand 1 win, 1 loss. And yes, some drama and excitement pending. And so do stay with us. It's going to be an extraordinary day's play at the OFC Futsal Championship Invitational 2013.
Yes, New Caledonia will be looking to upset New Zealand, I'm sure. Having beaten them last time out in 2010, I think it was, in Suva. Last game of that tournament for both sides. And New Caledonia will want to come away with 3 points from their visit to Auckland.
Yes, quite. Nathaniel Wright going close for New Zealand. And although the New Zealanders may have an edge in terms of it's a goalmouth scramble, you might say, and Nathaniel Wright's managed to
just enough, wasn't it?
New Caledonia and New Zealand are probably evenly matched in the physicality of their sides, respectively, but I don't know, would you give New Zealand the technical edge too? I think you would.
I think I'd give them the tactical edge for sure, just because of the experience of Scott Gilligan and the fact that they can be so well organised. But we've seen technically, with in football as well, with New Caledonia, when we look at that side that did so well in the Nations Cup last year, and I think it's similar. The New Caledonia players are technically very nice, but it's just struggling to sustain an organised performance over 40 minutes, which is, I think, where New Zealand will have the edge. But I couldn't pick it, Gordon. I really can't pick that game. I think New Zealand are under quite a bit of pressure tonight, but they should be confident because they've put the hard work in, and with Gilligan at the helm, they probably should start as favourites. But again, the crowd needs to come to support the local side, so I'm really looking forward to that one, and I'm really looking forward to the next one as well, Australia-Tahiti, as we see a counter-attack now from Vanuatu.
Oh, and he strikes the upright. Well played by the goalkeeper, Mitchell Webber.
Yeah, he narrowed the angle well.
Simon Mead urging his charges on. Mitchell Webber did just enough to put his opponent off. Rakom taking a wild pot shot. Ashby Peckham with around the corner left foot long ball intended for Nathaniel Wright. Donald Avick. Rakom has space to move
here.
into.
Oh, he should have picked out the man at the far post, but he's still done the job.
That's a wonderful piece of play by Rakom.
Rakom been so influential this week, hasn't he, Gordon?
I'm a big admirer of Pakoa Rakom.
Do you like his green shoes?
His green shoes are splendid. They coordinate nicely with the national team kit of Vanuatu. I think also that in terms of emerging talents, Pakoa Rakom is heading on his way up.
Definitely, and he's one of the guys the technical study group downstairs have been talking about as one of the standout players that we've seen over the week. Donald Abbock hasn't been too bad either.
No, there's been quite a few bright points for Louis Dominic. Rakom is definitely one we've identified. Total miscue from Jan Fisher. He tried to knock the pattern off the ball and in the end achieved little. So Vanuatu lead by 6 goals to 2. A hat-trick for Pakoa Rakom, a brace for Ben Hangai and one for Dudley Dominic. Goals for New Zealand by Charles Compin and Matthew Edridge.
Well done by Weber as Hangai checks in again for another spell, number 7.
Camry back in the action. Still going. Oh, lovely stuff from the veteran. Left Hangai and Rakom for dead. Now a counter-attack. Dudley Dominic.
Great ball by Hangai, but again, Camry just showing his class.
Well, if he can square this one up. Oh, and he went himself. He didn't have a teammate close enough to pick out. He had to try and manufacture something of his own, Camry, and in the end, Glendon Massai did enough. Look at that, good goalkeeping.
Good keeping.
Camry, oh, and off the line.
Yeah, another good effort from Camry. He just has that ability to play on top of the ball.
Trouble now for the Invitationals. Rakom has something to say as we have a look at this shot from Camry, cleared by Iasi. Game really opening up and a chance, and it's taken.
Great goal and 6-3. There's still a chance for the invitation side, and another good reward for their endeavours. Jan Fisher this time at the far post. Good counter-attack and a beautiful diagonal ball.
There's Camry's through ball. Ashby Peckham, perfectly weighted pass, and Jan Fisher at the far post on hand to take full advantage for New Zealand Invitational.
That nice left foot of Ashby Peckham to the fore again. Bang.
Oh, that's a good goal too. Dudley Dominic and Jackie John in combination with Jackie John applying the finishing touch.
Game just opening up now, Gordon. 7-3, still 10 minutes, so could be a few goals yet.
That was a lovely back heel, and Fisher took some of the power off it. Weber also had a touch, but the ball spinning into the back of the net.
Good turn ball. Yep, he's starting to learn his trade as the pivot. Exactly what he's trying to do at the moment, just receive it and fox the defender with a good turn.
Jackie John for Vanuatu. Dudley Dominic. Good defending from Ball.
Ball started out for the Hawke's Bay side in the National League, playing in the fixer role at the back, and new to futsal really this season, and so just it's not easy, the pivot role, playing with your back to goal, being strong enough to turn and shoot.
Nice defending from Ashby Peckham.
Good ball.
Locked in, tries to turn into his man. He's beaten Dominic. Ball is lurking in the D, unmarked.
Still plenty of good signs for this New Zealand Invitation side. They're well beaten at the moment, 7-3, but just some little techniques that you see, things they can work on. It shows that the raw material's there for a coach to work with, and I think Simon Mead overall will be fairly encouraged, as will Scott Gilligan, if he's looking to include some of these players in the futsal whites in the future.
Compound. Well played by Edwards. Ashby Peckham just miscuing the long pass intended for Daniel Ball. There's a timeout called.
Yeah, not sure the timing of the run perhaps, but again, just one of those things when the team hasn't been together for very long. But been impressed with Louis Dominique's body language, I guess you could call it, with his team. Just looking at the timeout. That's a good finish, isn't it, Gordon?
That's an excellent finish. Perfect pass from Camry, matched in quality by Ashby Peckham, and Jan Fisher with the goal. Just 2 passes it required.
That's right. Split them wide open. Look at Dominic now with his work. Very serious. And I know he's really relishing this opportunity to work with the national team. He wasn't going to coach this side. I believe it was quite a late appointment, but this team have been working together since February in Port Vila, and they intensified their training regime over the last 4 to 6 weeks, and it's shown. I'm sure if they had more games, we'd see a great improvement, and they've got one more to look forward to tomorrow. Remains to be seen who it's against, but the way they're going at the moment, they can be very confident regardless of who they're facing. Most likely New Zealand or Solomon Islands.
Yes, that's going to be some game.
Last time Vanuatu played Solomon Islands, it was 13-1 semi-final 2011. And New Zealand, last time they played them, 1-1. New Zealand won on a penalty shootout, 3rd place playoff.
Jackie John's shot is saved by Mitchell Webber. Edridge's header hooked clear by Hungai, and ends up high in the bleachers from Stephen Ashby Peckham.
I think I said the other day, Gordon, if it's Solomons they play, it's certainly not going to be 13-1.
No, look, one of the features of this Vanuatu side that has been most pleasing to the eye has been the morale and team spirit that they've shown. It hasn't really mattered whether or not they've been up against a vastly superior opponent. They've just kept going and going. They're continuing to grow and develop, and very little phases them. As we see Ashby Peckham, that's a good shot. Lyndon Massai forced into a save with his legs. And it bodes well. I mean, they can take this forward. They've had exposure to an AFC powerhouse in futsal, and they haven't come up too badly at all. As we see Ashby Peckham's shot saved by Massai. We're back with Mitchell Webber.
Yeah, let's not forget the Tahiti game on day one, the opening game. They were 3-1 up, heading towards the last 5 or 6 minutes, or perhaps last 10 minutes, and it wasn't until that late period that Tahiti really got to grips with them and took it out 5-3. So overall, you would say there's been something positive in each one of these performances by Vanuatu. And I agree with you about the spirit in this side. I think a lot of that comes from the fact that this side hasn't been stitched together at the last minute, that they've been working consistently on a regular basis with a routine and a program that Louis put together for them, and it's great. It's great to see, and looking forward to seeing them develop over the next couple of years.
Up of goal scorer Dudley Dominique. Charles Compton.
Good too that New Zealand Invitation have managed to score some goals today. They deserve it because they've played well in patches.
Yes, it's a good morale booster for them. They took 2 games to get going. No goals for, 11 against. And here today they've got 3.
Yeah, so they've conceded 18 over 3 games so far. It's not too bad. Futsal scores can blow out, and it could have been a lot worse. So Good on Simon Mead and his team. And they're still in this at the moment, just searching, probing for another goal.
Edridge. So 6 minutes and 34 seconds left on the clock. Vanuatu 7, New Zealand Invitational side 3. Well played by Compin. Compenas chases it down. A bit of a tough one to give the goalkeeper. Pass was hit with a lot of pace. Oh, good goal! Stephen Ashby Peckham with that lightning left foot. And it's 7-4. Another goal now for New Zealand would really make it an interesting closing quarter. One touch, second touch, ended up in the back of the net. Masai chose to protect his near post, and it was the far post that interested Ashby Peckham.
Yeah, and a great reward for an excellent week for Ashby Peckham.
Yes, the goals have been spread around. One for Ashby Peckham, Fisher, Compin and Edridge.
Nathaniel Wright's only got one thing on his mind too, I know, and here he is on the ball now. Can it break for him?
Well, 3 Vanuatu players converge on Wright to deny him his dream goal.
Wright, a prolific scorer at club level in Hawke's Bay and in football and especially futsal, but also in the National League. Got a real nose for goal, but a little bit more difficult at international level.
Rakom works himself into good space and hits the base of the upright. Peñas showing good strength. He got a bit of a shove from Donald Abbott. Kept the ball. Minutes 26 seconds remaining in the second half. Vanuatu 7, New Zealand Invitational 4. Weber. Straight into Camry, who's playing that pivot role. Oh, and shoots it straight into the side netting. Masai had a good sighter of that and left it alone. Avok, good overlap from Hangai. Dominic O'Sullivan got back to ensure that that pass didn't connect up with Jesse Takaro. Sorry, Bill Titek. And the number 3 shirt, here's Titek. Papua Rakom. Donald Abbott, Ben Hangai, Bill Titek. Nice touch from Titek. Weber read it well though.
Yeah, just a bit heavy there from Hangai, but a nice one too.
Titek lays it off to Rakom. Still going Rakom. Tried to chip Weber. He was having none of it, the goalkeeper for New Zealand Invitational. Look at that, Rakom trying to lift it over with his left foot, but it was at the perfect height for the hands of Mitchell Weber in your picture there. Right. Beats one, can't beat a second. The shot though is reeled off, but it's wide. Get it clear by Edridge. Sullivan flicks it on. Not a A bad ball by Edridge. Sullivan was too deep. Tako Rakom, oh, so close. Just needed a touch and it was in the back of the net.
Yeah, Ben Hungai did everything right there, but he just couldn't connect with that one. Nice work again though from Rakom, isn't it, Gordon?
He's an exciting player. He's very much in the same mould as Jack Whitney and Elliot Ragomo. I think anyway. That's
no,
my take on it.
I agree, and it's great that the tournament has produced some new exciting players that we can start thinking about for the future. And most teams have someone looking at Tahiti training up over training on the other side behind the curtain. Tino, he's been fantastic so far. Be interesting to see whether he can make an impression against the Australians. You think of Dylan Manikim for New Zealand, and well, we know about Lea Lafa for Solomon Islands. He's been, at times brilliant, and so yeah, plenty to look forward to, and we might yet unearth another star before this tournament's out.
So let's just go through those names. As a goalkeeper, Ronan Usen, Mika Lea Lafa, Pakoa Rakom, and Dylan Manikim. Here is 4 players perhaps for your OFC Futsal Select.
I was thinking about it in the car on the way over, Gordon. I think I might go with a squad of 12. So I've talked to the technical study boys downstairs, and I'm quite keen to get some ideas, but I want to get some balance into this side as well. So we know where the goals are going to come from those guys, but we also need people like James Egatar, perhaps, who's I noticed yesterday when he was on court for Solomon, he made such a difference, and the Malaysian side was peppered with terrific players as well, wasn't it? As is Australia. And Sito's another name that springs to mind, although he didn't enjoy such a good day yesterday. I think Vanuatu really managed to knock him off his stride. But yeah, we'll look forward over the next couple of days to putting together a team for the viewers.
Here's Hungai. Oh, that could have easily ended up in the back of his own net. Matt Edridge wouldn't have really had too much of a say about that. It was fired across his bows, like trying to outdo Marsai with. Sorry, that's not Marsai. There has been a change. It looks like Philip Ivano has been substituted into the game as Vanuatu's custodian. Shot from Rakom right across the face of goal. Well, I've got a wild card for you. I think if I was to choose a squad of 12 that in a fantasy squad, Hisham Camry would certainly be in my thinking.
I think so, and I'd also be looking at Ashby Peckham as well. I'd like to have a youngster like that in there. He's got a nice left foot on him. Reminds me of Liam Brady actually in his heyday. Going back probably a bit far for most people, but yeah, but definitely Hisham Camry. So influential. And I was talking to
hit the crossbar, Donald Avick.
I was talking to Giuliano Schmeling, the technical futsal expert that we often use in Oceania, and he was talking about Camry. He's played quite a lot with him in local club futsal up here in Auckland. Giuliano now based in Brisbane, and went away with the Solomon Islands to the World Cup last year, and he feels like Camry's still got a heck of a lot to offer, even though he's 38, just with that experience. And we were both admiring the fact that he's still so mobile, and he has great feet on him, very quick with the ball at his feet. And I said earlier, he can play on top of the ball, which is a skill we don't develop naturally, I guess, in New Zealand. But it comes from futsal, and Camry certainly played a lot of that.
Yes, and I think in a team that, with all due respect to his teammates this afternoon, around better players, that Camry would just have even more to offer. Experienced teammates perhaps, but Pakoa Rakom trying to dance his way through the Invitational side defence. Here's Camry trying to roll off Donald Avitt. Well, he's beaten 3-4 players there. Oh, and it needed a finish.
He's in a class of his own, and you know, just thinking about that age thing too, Gordon. You know, Japan had a 45-year-old at the Futsal World Cup, and he was his name escapes me, but he was excellent. And so, you know, if that's possible, maybe Camry's really just at the beginning of his career. He's got another 7 years to enjoy of international play.
Here he is again. Shot on target. Saved by Ivano. 1 minute 45 seconds to go. Vanuatu 7, New Zealand Invitational 4. Albert Toe. Avic shot into the side netting. So a good shift being put in by Vanuatu. They've taken care of business.
They sure have, and as Wright has one last attempt. Louis Dominic should be congratulated on his first win in charge of his national team, and that's a great moment for any coach.
Yes, it can only be an exciting project for him with such promising talent at his disposal. Ashby Peckham, he's also an exciting talent. That's a pass that went through the legs of Joseph Hang Kon and nearly linked up with Daniel Ball.
Yeah, Louis Dominic was an exciting player for Vanuatu too. Very, very nice technical player, and good to see him carrying on in that coaching role.
Rakom, oh, well, frustration for Ben Hangai. He wasn't really expecting the ball to come to him, and he's already demonstrated with a hand clap that he should have just hit it first time. Look at that. Frustrating. .26 seconds to go. 7-4 to Vanuatu over New Zealand Invitational side. Jackie John turns Charles Compan. Ashby Peckham, as ever, lurking for defensive cover. That's a heavy challenge on Daniel Paul from Albert Toe.
Up comes Mitch Webber. Big moment for Hawke's Bay Futsal. 3 players on court at the moment. Daniel Ball, Nathaniel Wright and Mitch Webber.
Daniel Ball being marshalled by Albert Toe, the match official having a word with Toe.
Yeah, I wonder what they can conjure up here, but Webber into the flying goalkeeper role by the looks, as Ashby Peckham goes into fixer just to give a bit of balance. No, now Webber's going back in there, and Ashby Peckham on this near flank, no doubt to line up that left foot so he can cut in and try and score. There's only 11 seconds left.
Well, it's going to have to be expedient and executed with precision. And unfortunately that's lacking. That's indicative of the short amount of time these players have spent in each other's company leading up to this tournament. There is the full-time buzzer. Result confirmed. Vanuatu have finished in 3rd place in their group. New Zealand Invitational have finished 4th. 7-4 in the end. A goal to Dudley Dominic, 1 for Jackie John, 2 for Ben Hangai, a hat-trick for Pakoa Rakom. And we can take a look back at some of the second half highlights. This was Dudley Dominic, who robbed Camry of the ball in mid-court. 1 touch, 2 touches, and goal time for the Futsal Gideons. This one was a defensive error by Jesse Takaro, but Charles Compan had plenty to do. Just wound up the toe poke, went through the legs of Takaro, and Glendon Massai didn't have any hope. There was too much power and pace on it.
Mel Meninga.
Yes, very reminiscent of a certain former rugby league player. And then Racom had a second nibble at this after a save from Mitchell Webber. And Vanuatu were always in control of this fixture. Ashby Peckham teed up Jan Fisher, who applied a cool finish. 2 passes was all it took.
That one will please Simon Mead. That's a classic futsal goal.
Then a back heel allowed Jackie John to get in on the scoring act. It was Dudley Dominique's skill that offered the chance, and Fisher and Webber managed to get something on it, but not enough. Ashby Peckham, lovely finish with the left foot. 1 touch to set himself, the second touch a powerful low shot, and Glendon Massai probably got that one wrong. So Hisham Camry is standing by to give an interview to our own Olivier Hook.
Hisham, third match against Vanuatu, a team really difficult to manage.
Yeah, they are very quick, they are fit, they press high. So we try to keep the ball, but it's difficult to keep the ball against a team who press high. And they've been pressing us for 40 minutes. And we haven't been together that much to be able to create some movement to get out the pressure. All the boys are under 18. So, yeah, we tried. We really... we were looking for a result today, for a win. Yeah, it wasn't there, but at least we scored some goals and we gave 100%. So there is no, we're happy with our performance.
Yeah, and this invitational team of New Zealand were here to learn.
Yes, definitely to learn. As I said, they are all under 18. We want to give them some international games so they get some experience because as you can see, the level is very high. You need to be fit, you need to be quick, you need to make the right decision in a quick time. So that's what was the intention, to give them some international games.
Thank you, Hisham. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hisham Camry with, basically telling it like it is, Paul.
Yeah, and interesting to see Hisham say that the level's very high for a guy that's played in Morocco. It's a nice comment.
Okay, so Vanuatu have prevailed 7-4 over New Zealand Invitational, and we can bid you a temporary farewell as we prepare for the match between Australia and Tahiti at 4 p.m. local time. I'm Gordon Glenn Watson, and on behalf of my colleague Paul Tui, we'll say goodbye for now.